Good morning, Commissioner.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, this meeting is being recorded, and we're going to wait for the room to populate. I'm sure we'll get quite a few people today. Yes. We just wait a few minutes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Alliance of Delray's meeting this beautiful, beautiful August morning. Waiting for the room to populate. We're going to have quite a few people. This is an exciting program today, all about traffic. The room is still populating, lots of people coming on, but we will start now. Today, we are going to be highlighting all issues with our traffic situation here in South Palm Beach County, especially along the Atlantic Avenue corridor. And we have Valerie Neilson today, who is the executive director now. Congratulations to you for the Palm Beach Transportation Planning Agency. We also have Al-Turk. He is from the Palm Beach County Engineering Public Works Traffic Division, and he'll be answering any questions on signaling if you have any. Please use the Q&A portion to ask any questions, and then they'll be addressed immediately following the presentations we have today. We always start out with our first responders, and just a couple of announcements from the Alliance. Everybody receives this wonderful newsletter here, and it's very informative. There's lots of things coming up, especially in the Agricultural Reserve. And for our next edition, which will be for the September meeting, it comes out in mid-August. So we'll be hearing a lot within the newsletter about the development that's going on and proposed development, especially the swap that the commissioners have begun speaking with the developer on. And that is going to be discussed in that issue, and you'll get all of the information way before the meeting, which will happen on August 31st, where the commissioners will be deciding on several issues within the Agricultural Reserve. So you're all getting updates on that, and also by the emails that go out through our very large distribution list. We're going to start today. It's great to see everybody here with Captain Sand. It's great to see you back. And we're going to highlight you and spotlight you for a presentation update. Thank you for coming.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's staying safe out there and having a nice summer so far. Is it hot enough for everybody, or is it just me? A couple of quick updates for you. Nationwide, they've developed a program of 988. All right, I sent over Lori. I sent over the information so you can share with everybody from the Alliance and throughout the community. We're talking about it a lot on the streets, so there's a bunch of questions and answers you can have that's readily available to you on the form. In short, it's a suicide crisis lifeline. So 24 hours a day, if you or a family member or friend needs some service immediately, please utilize it. Real easy to remember too, 988. All right, let me just move over to an operation we've launched called Hot Wheels. So in case you haven't noticed of the speed races that are rolling all around the county, we have just a quick update on this past weekend, the 28th through the 30th of July. We've made over 131 stops, resulted in several hundred citations and a few felony arrests, and we're towing vehicles off the roadway as well. So just to know that this is being addressed. Traffic crashes, West Area Beach, we're up 13% year to date so far. All right, so we need to get that number down. We're working hard. The deputies are out there working hard, staying very visible, staying engaged, and we'll continue to work towards moving that number down. Last but not least, auto burglaries. Laura, you mentioned something about Broward a little bit ago, and all the indicators are showing that the burglaries that are occurring throughout West Area Beach and the stolen vehicles are all moving back down to Broward. We're recovering most of our stolen vehicles right out of Broward. So when they're breaking into cars and we're leaving our valuables, folks, we got to do a better job. We're leaving our valuables in plain sight in the parking lots. They're breaking into the cars. People are leaving the vehicles open, and then we're finding iPads and all the electronic devices all back down in Broward. All right. So please lock it up. Keep your valuables out of plain sight. Be safe. And I'll see you guys soon. That's all I got today.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Thank you for keeping us all safe too.
My
And the
pleasure.
whole District 4 and Palm Beach County Sheriff Office. We love Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. Okay, it's great to see you, Chief Stansberry. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'll talk a little bit today about the fire stations that are in the Alliance. We have station 42, 45, and 52. Call volume in those three stations went up about 100 calls from June to July. So call volume is up, and I heard there are more traffic, more car crashes. So we are responding to those also. And thank you to the police for keeping us safe out there. Station 45, which is on Linton and Jog in the Alliance, that is currently under construction. We're adding a little bit more room to the bunk room to get more personnel in there because that's one of our busier stations. So we want to make sure we get the proper personnel that can respond and help all the citizens. So we're doing everything we can, and we appreciate it. We're here to help you guys. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for all you do for us. Okay, let's see where we have Representative Skidmore, and she can start her video, and it would be great to see her. And we can get an update. Great. Hello, Representative.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Vinokur. I am in the middle of getting an X-ray, so I am joining you from Holy Cross.
You're so good.
Well, I tell you, Zoom has changed our lives, right? So thank you so much for giving me a few minutes. I just want to say hello to everyone. Thank you for coming. We are in sort of a little bit of the summer doldrums. There's a lot of campaigns and things going on, but in terms of the legislature, we're working on constituent cases. My legislative aides are here always to be of service to you. If you have any concerns or questions, it doesn't look like we'll be having any more special sessions. So we're here until November, and looking forward to working with you on some of the issues that you've related already, Dr. Vinokur, that are going to be of interest to the Alliance, specifically, development and working with the county. So looking forward to working with you all. Hope everyone's having a great summer. Appreciate everything that you're all doing to make our community the great community that it is. And thank you for the few minutes to say hello.
Thank you. Wow, what a schedule you have. And with all that, you managed to come online with us. Thank you so much. Thank you for your update, and thank you for your work in Tallahassee.
Thank you.
Commissioner Sachs is here this morning too. Great to see you.
Good morning, Alliance, and thank you so much, President Vinokur, for bringing this very, very timely issue. I think one of the most questioned issue that my office gets is about traffic. And we heard from Captain Sand that the crashes are going up. Even though they're giving out more and more citations, we still have a lot of issues with traffic accidents here in our district, and especially along the Alliance. I think that you have two of the best county folks with you today, and I want to give a shout out to Valerie Neilson, who's going to be giving a presentation today, as well as with Al-Turk, because they are our front lines. But I tell you what, we need somebody else. We need the people of the Alliance to be sure that you stick close with what your President Vinokur is doing on keeping you informed August 31st. Mark your calendars. August 31st, I need everybody to come to the County Commission chambers. We have a whole day event on whether or not we're going to allow thousands of new houses on 441. And this is the land swap that everybody's been talking about. But we can talk about it a lot. We can talk about traffic. We can talk about traffic accidents, but we need our people from the Alliance, under the leadership of you, President Vinokur, come to the chambers on August 31st and let your voices be heard. I want to see your faces. I want everyone to know that the Alliance is saying smart development, not overdevelopment. This has been your advocacy for years, ever since I've been a part of the Alliance, and that is over 20, almost 30 years now. So, but I need you, I need the people of the Alliance to come to the County Commission chambers, August 31st. Dr. Vinokur, I am going to be sending you a SAC Sentinel on this. I've done a podcast on it. I have everything ready to inform and educate the people of the Alliance. So you make up your minds. But if you go under the leadership of what you already have been talking about with your letters to the chamber, this is the best way to do it, is to be there. So I can't wait to hear the presentation today. It is very timely. Traffic is so important and we have to get it under control. So thank you so much for this topic, President Vinokur and all the people of the Alliance. And I look forward to seeing you in person soon. And by the way, Representative Skidmore, get well. I hope that everything goes well for you, and I'll see you all. I'm going to be listening intently to this presentation. Thank you so much, Lori. Thank you.
Thank you very much for attending and for that update. Right before we go to our feature presentation, we have an update from the school board vice chair, Karen Brill. Great to see you.
Thank you, Dr. Vinokur, and good morning, everybody. I will be very brief. The Department of Education did not grade school districts the past 2 years due to COVID and the shutdown. So we were very pleased when this year's district grades were announced. The school district of Palm Beach County maintained its A rating. With 67 school districts in Florida, we are only one of 14 districts to achieve an A rating, and only 2 of the large urban districts, Miami-Dade and Palm Beach County, are A rated. So we are very proud of our school district. Our graduation rate continues to climb. It is currently 95.9%. So we are extremely proud of our students and all of our employees and parents for working with the community. So for the school district, summer is over, and it's hard to believe that it's back to school time. My son returned to school food service yesterday, and our teachers return tomorrow. Next week, next Wednesday, our students are going to be back. So you will begin seeing school buses on our roads as they test their routes over the next few days. So that's it for me. I'll see you next month, and all of you enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.
Thank you for attending, and thank you for all you do on that board. You have to sit there for hours and hours listening to so many people, and there are so many people interested in education, and we need a strong school board, and you're the one. You're really perfect for that job, and I guess you'll be chair maybe next year, we hope. Great, thank you for coming. Well, right now we've got Valerie Neilson here. She's going to be starting her presentation here. It is so good to see you, and congratulations on becoming the executive director of the Palm Beach Transportation Planning Agency. Now, Valerie Neilson, you are an AICP, so maybe you can provide that little bit of alphabet soup there and let us know a little bit about your title there.
Sure. So good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I know we're here to talk about traffic, but which may not be everyone's favorite topic, but I think it's a very exciting topic because transportation is at the heart of everything. It's at the heart of quality of life, of economic development, access to opportunity, jobs, education. I'm an urban planner, AICP means American Institute of Certified Planners. So I'm officially a certified urban planner, but I've been in planning for about 15 years. I've been with the TPA for a little over about 7.5 years. Recently became the executive director. So I'm really excited to be here, and it's a very exciting time here in Palm Beach County.
Thank you for coming. We're looking forward to this terrific presentation. We have a PowerPoint, so we're going to share the screen.
All right.
And go ahead with your presentation. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Yes?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see it in the notes version, Valerie.
Oh. You're still seeing the notes version?
You're still seeing the notes version?
That's good. You could keep it like that.
Good. You could keep it like that.
Okay.
Okay.
I hear an echo, but I'm not sure.
I hear an echo, but I'm not sure where it's coming from.
The echo usually happens when one of the participants has two devices that he signed on both.
Hold on a minute.
Hold on a minute.
I can still hear some clicking, so I'm not sure if everyone's muted.
I think we're good.
We're good now? Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
All right, I'll get started. I guess I'll do it in this view since the other view is showing notes, but I'm here to talk to you about the Palm Beach Transportation Planning Agency. Just in case you're not familiar with who we are a federally designated metropolitan planning organization where we exist to plan, prioritize, and fund the state and federal transportation dollars that come to Palm Beach County. We consist of a board of 21 locally elected officials, including 13 of our largest cities and 5 county commissioners, as well as 1 port commissioner. We don't own or operate anything, but we oversee where we prioritize where these dollars are going to go, primarily on the state system, but also working with everyone. So our mission is to collaboratively plan, prioritize, and fund the transportation system. And our vision is a safe, efficient, and connected multimodal transportation system. What that means is looking at all modes of transportation, looking at moving people in a safe and efficient and connected way. So when we look at the area that we're covering, we're looking at Palm Beach County, all 39 municipalities. About half of the roadways are owned by FDOT, the miles. So that's what we're primarily directing dollars to. However, we work very closely with Palm Beach County, with Mo, who's also on the line, and as well as our local municipalities. And we give grants to the county and our local municipalities, as well as our transit partners and other transportation public agencies. So it's a very collaborative effort. Also, we are, to the federal government, we are part of the Miami urbanized area. So to them, we're just one area with Broward and Miami. So we have to also create a regional long-range transportation plan through the Southeast Florida Transportation Council. So with their counterparts of what we are in Broward and Miami, looking at how are we moving this public all in this urban area. We are growing, as we all know. We are experiencing a lot of economic development, a lot of people wanting to move here. These numbers are actually from a couple of years ago, but when you look at our area as a whole, our urbanized area is expected to go to 7.5 million from 5.9 in 2015 to 2045. In our county, we're expecting to be nearing close to 2 million people by 2045. And like I said, we've experienced exponential growth recently, so we're updating those numbers and working on that, about to kick off our regional long-range transportation plan, looking out over the next 25 years, but also our Palm Beach County long-range transportation plan. So one of the things, the priorities that we're looking at, we heard earlier from that, crashes are going up. Florida is always one of the top states for the most dangerous states for pedestrians, and also just in general for traffic related fatalities and serious injuries. So one of the things we're really focusing on, and this is just not just us, but also at the FDOT, at the state level, and at the federal level is safety. So we're looking at safety for all users. We're prioritizing, trying to think about complete streets, which means safety for users of all ages and abilities. It means that when you're looking at approving a land use development or designing a roadway, you're looking at that access for all users. Are you connecting the sidewalks? Are you including bicycle facilities, safe bicycle facilities as much as possible, and really making those connections so that people can get around, obviously in a context sensitive way, but really trying to create that connected network. We're also looking at Vision Zero. So Vision Zero means that we understand that fender benders are going to happen. However, we really want to commit to imagining a system where no one is killed or seriously injured to the point of being incapacitated for the rest of their lives on our transportation system. So what can we do to increase safety by the design of our roadways, by educating people, by encouraging people to behave safer, evaluating that data, where are those issues happening, and really addressing it on all the fronts. So that's something that we're really trying to encourage. I know that Delray Beach has a Vision Zero, a complete streets and Vision Zero policy. So that's really exciting. The next steps to adopting a Vision Zero policy is creating a Vision Zero action plan. What that means, and there's a lot of guidance on this, is really identifying the key stakeholders in your community on those different fronts. So enforcement, education, engineering, evaluation, and encouragement, and really trying to together look at what are some of the solutions we could be addressing here. So that's something that's really great that Delray has taken the lead on, and we're looking forward to seeing how that advances. We're also looking at mode shifts. So looking at how can we move more people, not just cars, but people in a more efficient ways to maximize the efficiency of space. As we urbanize, especially in the more urban area, we start running out of public right-of-way. So in that same amount of space, we have to think about, on certain corridors, could we move people in other ways? Our office is located in downtown West Palm Beach. Here they're having local circulators on demand for free and other incentives to try to get people to move in other ways. A lot of trips that happen are within 1 to 3 miles of distance, people that are driving to go to Publix, to their friend's house, to the post office, or to work. But a lot of the general traffic that's happening are shorter trips. So potentially if we had local circulators or some other ways to get around, realizing that every trip begins as a pedestrian. So we want to connect those facilities, whether or not you're getting to your car or wherever you're going. Maybe we can get some people to move in a different way versus having to take their car everywhere. Also considering that not everybody can drive. So some people might be too young or too old. Some folks might have a physical disability or may not have the income level to be able to drive. So by providing some other options, you're also helping everyone and improving that quality of life. So the picture on the bottom right here is showing about 60 people in cars, whether or not they're autonomous or regular cars. It's still taking up its geometry, it's taking up space. Also, then you're showing about 60 people on their bicycle and then 60 people on a bus. So it kind of shows you, maybe we understand not everyone will get out of their cars, but maybe if we provide safe and comfortable and efficient, reliable facilities, maybe some people will, and we could move them in that way. So as we're looking at projects coming up, this is an example, but we're looking at how do we make them safer. Here's an example on Lake Worth Road. This is a rendering of a project that's going to go into the ground, start construction this year. We're really excited about this. This was a resurfacing project, but there was enough right away to add some bicycle facilities, separated bike facilities. So having that physical barrier to encourage more people to bike and for it to be safer, and actually a shared use path because there was enough right away in the public right away to do that, as well as this crossing. What was very exciting about this was one of our highest crash areas for people walking and biking, a lot of transit dependent community in this area in the village of Palm Springs here. So these are things that we're trying to be forward thinking at when those opportunities come up to try to improve the other facilities, even if they were just going to go in and repave what was there today. How can we improve it for everyone? So I know you're all here to hear about what's happening in Delray. In terms of upcoming projects, I have a map here. And I actually want to encourage you to visit our website, palmbeachcpa.org/map, where we have an interactive map for our transportation improvement program. Basically, this interactive map, you can look at all the projects that we're aware of coming up in the next 5 years and click on them for more information in terms of dates, funding, what's happening, who's the lead agency. So it's a very, very helpful map. Here we're highlighting just a few of these projects coming up. We have the Atlantic Avenue widening from State Road 7 to the Turnpike. That's about, it's going from 2 to 4 lanes, and it's going into construction fiscal year 24. So what that means for us is fiscal year 24 starts July 1st of next year of 2023. So that's going to be starting and going into construction. The eastern portion, Atlantic Avenue, from 4 lanes to 6 lanes. That one we've been working with the Lake Worth Drainage District. I'm going to go into a little bit more details on that one, but that one is one that we're trying to figure out the typical, because FDOT is going to have to buy right-of-way from Lake Worth Drainage District, and that's not necessarily something that they are happy to give up. So we're working with them on that typical section. But we have several projects on here. And I know that after Mo speaks, we're going to open it up for questions. So we're happy to provide more information on these projects. The red lines, just so that you know, those are county projects, Lions Road widening, and then also the blue lines are Turnpike and FDOT projects. So Atlantic Avenue, I-95, and the Turnpike are all capacity widening projects that we have in the pipeline. Again, I encourage you to go to our map. All those other lines, you can click on them and find out what's going on, if it's a resurfacing project, if it's a new sidewalk, whatever it might be. And so going a little bit deeper into Atlantic Avenue, I mentioned the section of State Road 7 to Lions Road, the widening, that's going to be starting construction next fiscal year. Then we have Lions Road to Jog Road. And on the bottom right, you see the picture of what it looks like today. We actually have FDOT and their consultant on the line too to answer some questions on this. But what the goal was to widen to 6 lanes with 7-foot buffered bike lane, which means that you have a stripe and you have a little bit more space than just a shoulder for those cyclists that do ride on the road. And then also a 10-foot shared use path, which is our desired, it's our board's desire, which is the standard for a facility that's safe enough to accommodate people that want to ride on their bicycles, on their scooters or whatever, or walk. More users in order to safely accommodate all those users or other people that are moving around. 10 feet is the best practice as a minimum. So that was our desired. And it'll also include intersection capacity improvements at Jog Road. And we're working on that, finalizing that PD&E, that design and the environmental phase. And then the further design will start after that with construction in 2027, 2028. So in this section in particular, we have two key sections of this section, from Jog Road to Cumberland, and then from Cumberland to the Florida's Turnpike. So what's being planned in terms of the typical, where we're at right now, and we're hoping to get approval from Lake Worth Drainage District this month, is that in the section, the eastern section that I mentioned from Cumberland Drive to Jog, that section will have 10 feet, and then primarily 10 feet the entire way, both along the northern side, but then we may have some pinch points as we're working with Lake Worth Drainage District that might go down to 8 feet on the south side. And that's to be able to accommodate safety border widths for FDOT, but also what Lake Worth Drainage District needs to safely operate and continue to operate, do their maintenance within their right of way. So that's been the compromise that we've been working out with them, trying to still have a safe facility for all users on the south side, but having to compromise a little bit when there are those pinch points. And then to the south, going a little bit from Eagle Point to Legends Way, the proposal right now is to cover the canal and have piping in that section to be able to improve safety and that border width, because it is narrow there. So that's what's being proposed in that section right now. This is where we've landed between FDOT and Lake Worth Drainage District staff to accommodate the desired project of 6 lanes in this section. So moving forward, just kind of looking out into our transportation vision, we have to develop, the federal government requires us to develop a 25-year long-range transportation plan. The last one that we developed, this really guides where our dollars go. What is it that everybody wants? How are we going to grow? Where do we see population going, and what transportation investments do we estimate to have that we will have funding for, and what are just desires? The last one was adopted in 2019, and we're very excited because our new update looking out to 2050 is going to kick off in early 2023. And we want as much public participation as possible in this process. It's going to be about a 2-year process. So we're very, very excited about that. Hopefully we can come back and speak to you again next year and get you involved in all of that. From our last long-range transportation plan, on the map, you'll see here a few desires of transportation projects that we have. The red lines are widening projects and some traffic signal investments. The green lines are a priority network to provide pedestrian and bicycle facilities. Even though we want that connected network everywhere, we really want this priority network connecting to our blue lines, which are our desired multimodal corridors. So we know that some roadways are going to be primarily for cars, but we also want to provide a network of roadways that provide enhanced transit and very comfortable and accessible pedestrian and bicycle facilities. So multimodal corridors that are currently our highest transit ridership corridors that we have the highest density of people and jobs per mile, and corridors that if we invest in these better facilities for enhanced transit, could also potentially promote redevelopment of land use and housing closer to the urban core, so we stop sprawling out to the west. And that way, it's not only providing more housing and access for people that now they don't have to have the burden. Some people don't want to have to live farther away, some people do, but at least providing that option for people to be able to live closer to their jobs, be able to connect to the entire region. These blue lines on the map on the right, these connect with Broward and Miami-Dade counties enhanced transit corridors. So it's a regional plan. They actually have funding to make it happen. We're still in the desires phase. We're doing planning concept studies, trying to think about what could potentially go on these corridors in terms of enhanced transit. Could it be a better bus with less frequent stops, with transit signal priority, with level boarding so people can get on and off faster? Could it potentially be a dedicated bus lane, or potentially even eventually a dedicated light rail? Those are things that we're evaluating right now. I will say that on the map on the very right, the shaded blue area represents a 2-mile buffer around this network of corridors that connect to Miami and Broward. Within that 2-mile radius, we estimate that it would capture 68% of the population in 2045. It's actually a little higher now, but of all the county's population, and about 94% of all the non-farm jobs. So you're really providing kind of a network for people, the people that are working to be able to move in other ways. We're also hearing from the economic development community, from folks that are moving here, businesses that are moving here, that they want to have, they're asking, where is the enhanced transit? I want to locate my business next to this. So that's something that we're hearing from, especially from folks that are coming from other areas that are used to that. And a lot of the people that want to live in areas that are walkable, that have options for enhanced transit. So looking at the most dense area first to be able to make the case for it, but then potentially expanding further out. This map doesn't mean that there won't be transit service elsewhere. There is an express bus to the Glades. It just means that if we were to look at where we have the most density of people, where we want to focus redevelopment on, it would be on these corridors that are creating a connected and system in the most urban area for frequent service that would actually warrant a more frequent service and dedicated service. So we're still in that vision phase. Our next steps for that are, we're going to try to refine this mobility vision. We're going to kick off this collaborative effort for this 2050 long-range transportation plan. We're doing planning concept level studies, trying to evaluate what could potentially be the vision for these corridors. Ultimately, the roadway owner will have to do the real and not like much further analysis on it, but we're doing that general planning concept level studies. And we want to incorporate the local mobility desires and plans. So there may be municipalities that want local circulators, that want to connect to the system, even though they may not be in it. There might be something that connects you to it, just like West Palm Beach has, and Delray also, they have freeway, but you have these local circulators. There might be other things that communities want that they don't have funding for. Our agency can only plan and prioritize capital dollars, so we can't pay for operating dollars. So that's kind of a hitch. We could get dollars to make this enhanced transit happen only if we have that local match. So right now it's a visioning phase, and we want to get everyone together, hear what everyone has to say, and also learn from other areas that already are past. They've already been through where we were at and they've gotten past it. So learning from others, lessons learned, and communicating all this over the next year or two, communicating this to everyone, launching a website, hosting events, getting out into the community, really hearing from everyone and sharing this vision, where are we headed? Because all of this takes time. So we have to start somewhere, and doing that outreach. Ultimately, we're going to have to pass that ball to the private sector, to the economic development community, if we are to get a local funding source, a local funding match, so that we can get the capital dollars to invest into enhanced transit service. So this is all a conversation that is evolving, but we're here to collaborate with everyone and get everybody on the same page. We do know that every other urban area in Florida has either done this already or is talking about it. Our neighbors to the south have already done it. So really it is the time to have that conversation and get started on this vision, even if it takes time. So I will mention, I mentioned that we provide grants to the local municipalities and to the county on public right-of-way. So we do have 3 annual grant programs that we launch every year in about October. You can find more information on our website. But one of them is transportation alternatives. So that might be safe routes to school. That might be a new pedestrian or bicycle path to provide more safer connected facilities. Local initiatives, that has to be on a federally aid roadway, so it can be on the main roadway system, but those are things that could be, again, freight efficiency, transit capital, complete streets improvements, and then state road modifications are projects that we're looking for on the state roadway system. So the map that I mentioned earlier, palmbeachtpa.org/map, there's actually a layer there that you can turn on and see who owns the roadway. So if you have an idea or a suggestion, please share it with us. But I want to let you know, we can't make anyone do anything, but we are a partner. We're a planning agency, and we can give grants to our local municipalities and our roadway owners, and are always welcoming ideas. So this is my last slide. I want to encourage everyone to please get involved, visit our website, sign up for our newsletter. It goes out twice a month on Tuesday on what's going on, how to get involved. We have a comment map actually that you can drop a pin and tell us a recommendation or an issue that you've experienced, and we'll follow up with the appropriate agency to share it with them and see what can be done. And we have a bunch more resources. And also please stay tuned for our long-range transportation plan update, because we want all of your participation in that effort. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I know that Mo was going to say a few things, but that's my presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Well, that was terrific. Thank you. Let's see. You're spotlighted, and I am just going to add spotlight just to ask you one question. That direct link to who owns the roadways, we have a property appraisers map, and we can click on it. Generally, that tells you, is this maybe a different one from the local planning agency? It would be good to, from the transportation planning agency, it would be good to have that as well to compare. So can you provide that link either in the chat or
Yes.
or send it to me? And
I will provide it in the chat, and it's one of my favorite tools. So if I'll show it to you actually real quick, if that's okay, but just so that everyone sees it. So it's palmbeachtpa.org/map. On this tool, Yeah. We lost you. Let's see. There you go.
Back.
Okay. So on this tool, you can change the background if you want to have an aerial view or other type of background map, but it'll default to this kind of clean map setting. What happens here is you zoom over to the area that you're interested in, and you can have all of these layers on the left. There's a lot of layers, so we don't turn them all at once, but earlier we were showing our upcoming transportation, our transportation projects. So all these lines, when you click on one, it'll tell you what the project is, when is it happening, and the description of the project, who the lead agency is. We were talking about Atlantic Avenue earlier. So here it provides that description. Also, in terms of roadway ownership, you can go down here and you can turn on the roadway ownership layer, and it'll show you who owns the roadway. So if it's a red line, it's an FDOT road. If it's a blue line, it's a county road. You can also click on it, but it's just a comprehensive interactive map that we have that's helpful. It has the commissioner districts as well. It has, you can zoom in and out, you can click on it and it'll tell you, what's going on, where are there schools, where are there bus stops, bicycle facilities. It's a lot of information on here, but it's just a useful resource if you're interested in transportation to see what's going on and what's happening. So I just wanted to share that quickly with you all. I will put the link in the chat, and hopefully it's a helpful resource for you.
Oh, that is terrific. Thank you so much. Now, thank you for the presentation. You're going to definitely be staying on here to hear Mo Al-Turk's presentation, and then we can answer any other questions that come in the Q&A. So we do encourage everybody to ask any questions, write them in the Q&A. And you are also welcome back next August to, we have a date, okay, to give an update. It would be great. I took this opportunity to have you speak on this Zoom meeting because apparently every single month of the year, the first Wednesday of the month when we have our meetings, you have your meetings and you couldn't attend ours in person. But this Zoom is the next best thing. So thank you very much. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go right to Mo Al-Turk, and he is going to be presenting information. He is the director of the Palm Beach County Engineering and Public Works Traffic Division. We'll hear some things about the roadway expansions. He's going to answer the one question that somebody gave about Lyons Road, and a little bit about traffic light timing. Here's the time to ask Mo any questions on if you've got issues with your traffic lights. And we do send those questions to the county, and they do get answered for our constituents, but you could ask him right now if you have a question. So go ahead, Mo Al-Turk, great to see you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I did not prepare a formal presentation because I knew that I could not compete with Valerie. She's a very good presenter. And she had a lot of information to offer. And I was not asked actually to prepare a presentation. I was invited to answer some questions, but I did some preparation. And I would probably want to talk about two things of interest, I believe, for the community at large. We have quite a few resources that could be extremely useful for you. We have TPS database map. That's the Transportation Performance Standards database that has a lot of a wealth of information about all newer developments coming in the county, with details about what is being built, what's the name of it, when it was approved, how large it is, what are the land uses there that were approved, and what is the traffic that is expected to be generated by those developments, etc., and how the traffic is going to be distributed that is generated by those developments. And I can show you, if you care, that later in a few minutes. But before we get started, I want to reiterate that Atlantic Avenue and Boynton Beach Boulevard are both FDOT facilities, Florida Department of Transportation's facilities, but the county does operate and maintain traffic signals on all the state highway system throughout the county on contract with FDOT. And FDOT does cooperate and work with us closely on all the roadway projects within the county. We get involved in the early stages of design, planning and design and operation and analysis for the improvements that happen. So we were closely involved and working with them, and also the TPA were involved in the review and recommendations for the widening of Atlantic Avenue that Valerie wanted to explain what is being considered there. For the traffic signals that we operate along that corridor, we have a coordinated system for the signals that extends between Lions Road and I-95. We just retimed that corridor late last year, early this year. The coordinated system, as I said, starts at Lions Road. We don't have a coordinated system between US 441 and Lions Road because we don't have that many signals in between and they are far apart, so coordination doesn't work in these cases. I know there are a lot of frustrations about the construction that's happening on Lions Road now between south of Atlantic Avenue. And we are faced with numerous challenges there in setting up the work zone traffic. The challenge had been that we have quite few communities along that corridor, and they definitely cannot live without having their own left turn lane, and some of them even they needed a right turn lane into the communities. So we were working with the builder, with the contractor, to try to provide the best MOT, the maintenance of traffic plans that we could come up with without impacting their ability to complete construction within the contracted time. The question that I read was in the chat was about whether they will be able to complete the project within the planned and schedule. Which would be fall of this year. We did not get any formal request from the contractor to extend the project, the construction, but we would not be surprised with all known issues with the disruption of supplies and construction material, etc., that are delaying everything that we deal with here nowadays, including concrete, asphalt, supplies, etc. So, but it's to the best of my knowledge, so far they should be on schedule. So they should be finishing it in time as planned. Now, if you have concerns, and I occasionally get emails and or calls about issues with traffic along that corridor or anywhere else in the county, I would like to share with you, if I may share the screen. I want to share with you, where is that?
Yes, you can share the screen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if you go to our webpage, traffic division, there is the contact information that we have here is extensive and very well thought through. We have contact information for depending on the topic of concern that you have. And we try to set it up so that your concern will go directly to the team that will be handling those kind of issues instead of having middle people and get lost in between. So I encourage you to go and on our website and use this contact information to contact us. And I will paste now in the chat group the link to this to our webpage, and so in the future you can use it to get our webpage. There are a host of other useful information that you can get from there. Once you are there on our webpage, and I will demonstrate it, you can go to traffic links and scroll down to the TPS database. I'm doing it slowly so that everybody will have the time to see it. And if you select it, you will get to this map of the county. This is called, we call it the TPS database. And this is a very important tool that is used in the development of traffic reports and review of traffic reports for all new developments. And if you zoom in into any area of interest, like if I come down here, this is Boynton Beach Boulevard, and obviously this is Atlantic Avenue. If you select any of the developments that are shaded, you will be able to see what all the information about those developments. So for example, let me go and select, this is, I believe, the Delray Marketplace. So I selected this project. This is at the corner of Lyons Road and Atlantic Avenue. And if you look at the box on the top left, you can see all the information about it, including the percent complete, which means that 91.9% of the entire project is complete. This gives you information like, when it was, when is the built out year? It was 2024. Daily trips that were expected according to the traffic study report prepared back then were 9,600 vehicles per day. Total AM traffic, AM entering, exiting, etc. All the traffic information are out there. If you scroll down, it will tell you in the very bottom the type of development and land use. So general commercial, there are 278,000 square feet, and condo, townhome, there were 73 dwelling units. If you go and while you are looking at the map also, you can see how the traffic generated by the development is distributed on the roadway system around it. So 32% on Atlantic Avenue, west of Lyons Road, 40% east of Lyons Road, and 18% on Lyons Road, south of Atlantic, etc. This is the tool that I wanted to share with you, so I can stop sharing, or we can keep this here. The other thing that you can get from this map, you can also select any feature like the road, and once I clicked with my mouse, I can then here go and choose what attribute I want to see from that. So you'll have parcels, or TPS intersection, or TPS thoroughfare. So I selected TPS thoroughfare. It selected the road, which is US 441. This one gives you additional information in the top left box. It tells you the name of the formal name of the road, which is West Atlantic Avenue, and it tells you also who is the responsible agency for it. So this is where is that? It does not do it on this one. Probably does it on GeoNav. All right. So there is another feature or map that you can also use, and it's helpful, and it's available online, which is our GeoNav, that gives more information about the right-of-way lines and property lines, etc. And I can go to that as well. While I am here, I can go back. It doesn't want to do it. It's okay.
We could place those. We could place those links on in our next email that we send.
That's fine. Yeah.
We can do that. If you could send me the link to that. I know the My GeoNav, but if you could send me the one to the TPS standard maps, that would be great.
Okay. So yeah. With this, I would just go to the West Delray area, and I would open it for questions, if you don't mind, because I think people are more interested in hearing the information on that cover their concerns.
Yes. So yeah, we're going to stop the screen sharing.
Sure.
Okay. And then we'll spotlight you. You're in the spotlight, and I'll just be on there for me. And Valerie, if she'd like to come on, that would be great. We'll add her spotlight there. And we have a couple of questions here. And the traffic light at Cumberland and Atlantic, they would ask for it to be green a little longer, leaving Cumberland to Atlantic. So if you can look into that, and if you can get back to me about that. The other day, I did send a question about Floral Lakes and Jog. They were waiting a little longer at the light to exit their community, and that was that was going to be investigated by your office as well.
Right.
So, but this is an additional one by Cumberland Atlantic. It seems that during the off season, when we don't have a lot of traffic here from up north, that people are waiting longer to exit their communities, and they would like those traffic lights to be corrected if they can for the time in the summer. It would be great. And one person did say that there's been no work done on Lyons Road and Project in weeks, so he doesn't think that it'll probably get done by fall. But of course, what Mo said was that the developer, the construction people haven't asked you yet, but they might, right?
Yeah, and one more thing I want to add is that there is a lot of work that is done, but we do not notice as commuters who drive through there. So when you don't see activity as you pass through there, visible activity doesn't mean that work is not being done and progress is not happening.
Yeah, they
it's
might
hard
be
for
waiting.
us to tell. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
there
hard
might
for
be
us
some
to tell.
permits, or it might be permits or something they're waiting for.
Yeah.
Or something to be dug up, because you've got a
Yeah.
lot of utilities there too. Okay.
Right.
Well, we'll just wait, and if you can let us know if the construction people did ask for an extension. It would be good to know if the Alliance could be told that, we'll get it out to our people to let them know.
Sure.
Who do we call to examine the timing about Lake Ida and Military? Lake Ida and Military, especially going east. Now, that's a Military Trail and Lake Ida Road. Now, that's still the Palm Beach County traffic, correct?
Yeah. We as I said, we operate and maintain traffic signals throughout the entire county, even within municipalities, for the exception of Boca Raton and town of Palm Beach.
Yeah. Now,
so if you have any traffic, signal things outside of Boca Raton proper limits and or town of Palm Beach, just contact us.
Yes. So here we've got one here, Lake Ida and Military, especially going east. There's timing issue there. If you could write all these down now and then you could just give up on, and we'll send it out by email, every single explanation. We don't have too many here. And there's just one other one. Okay. So that's Lake Ida and Military, especially going east. And then the traffic light at Atlantic and Lexington Club. We've fixed that before in the past, but maybe they've changed some things, and east to west light is too long during non-commuting times, including weekend and the summer. So Lexington Club, Atlantic and Lexington Club Boulevard. And if you could report on those. So we've got Atlantic and Lexington and Lake Ida and Military, at the Cumberland and Atlantic. Okay. And then that's it for right now. I don't see any other questions for Valerie today. You gave such a complete and thorough presentation there. We have one other one coming up here. Let's see, I got another Q&A here, I think. Another one. Intersection of Lyons and Atlantic. What is the status of reconstruction? Can anyone comment on that?
Yeah, this intersection will be upgraded and rebuilt as part of this currently under construction Lyons Road south of there. So the limits of the Lyons Road construction will extend to and will include the intersection of Lyons and Atlantic. And when they are done, you will have a beautiful, very wide, large intersection. You will have dual lefts on all four approaches, and you will have dual rights on the south approach. And you will have through lanes in each direction on all four approaches. So you will have plenty of capacity there, and I do not expect at that point to hear any complaints or concerns from anybody when it's done.
Let's see. Somebody's asking about implementing sensor monitoring systems at traffic lights.
Oh, we do always. We do have that. You know, we have all the time. We have sensors, but you need to remember, like the question about Atlantic and Lexington Club, with concern with too much green for the east-west. When we do coordinated corridors, we coordinate the signals along a corridor. We have to stick with a certain max times for the east-west, regardless of the demand on that major corridor. But we do control the amount of green on the side street and restrict it to the needed amounts only, based on the demand.
Okay, thank you for that. I don't see any other questions here coming up. I'm going to give Valerie the ability to just wrap up a few things. Collect your thoughts, and I'll just make one announcement before Valerie speaks. We're going to have an in-person September meeting. We're going to start in person again at the South County Civic Center. Doors open 9, meeting begins 9:30. And it's going to be very special with the supervisor of elections, Wendy Sartori-Link, will be speaking, and she'll be going over the ballot for November, explaining the ballot and explaining any additions that we have to vote on for amendments that we would vote on at the ballot. You're already looking into the Floral Lakes jog there, and I haven't gotten a report back from your office, but I know they have to get out there and look for a couple of days, right? But the Floral Lakes and jog, that is another issue. Okay, somebody just wrote that from there, but your office has already been told about that, so if you can include that.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. Valerie, any completing comments?
Just thank you everyone for your time, for sticking with us. I will say that we do work with Palm Beach County Engineering, as Mo mentioned, prioritizing funding for traffic signal improvements and things like that, any way we can help. But the county is being very proactive in looking at the latest technologies and how to even communicate with autonomous vehicles and buses to be able to move everything in a more efficient way. So they are on top of that and looking into that to improve all those technologies.
Thank you both very much. You can see that our first responders, I could see Captain Sant and Chief Stansberry, they're still online here because they are so interested in this. It is so important also for, we got the thumbs up from Chief Stansberry. It's great to see you here. They are so concerned as well, because people's lives depend on it with response times and all. So you can see the importance it is to our first responders. Well, this was great. And thank you both for attending. And remember, Mo, the TPS standards map, can you send that link to me?
Yeah, I did send it on the chat window, but I will send you an email.
Yeah, send it in email, yeah. and we'll get all these links out. The maps are very important because they're very telling, very easy to click on and getting all that information. Well, yeah. Thank you all for coming. It's great. And of course, yes, our Vice Chair, Karen Brill, the school buses, boy, they got to get through when there's traffic. So we work with them too. It's great. It's great to see you all. Thank you all for coming. And we will see you in September in person. Okay, we'll end the meeting now and read our newsletter. Captain Sant, thank you so much for coming. And he's been listening to you too. You can see how important the traffic is to everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.